Live on Facebook pia. Good. Okay, karibuni tena to another program today. This one is almost an impromptu. Nimekuwa napita hapa Kandui nikakutana na kukaa yangu hapa former Sirisia MP Mheshimiwa John Munyasia, and he has a history with the late Mheshimiwa Jirongo, na nimeona ni vizuri at least atuongeleshe kidogo kabla aendelee na shughuli zake. So Mheshimiwa, maybe you can first of all introduce yourself, then kwa wale ambao wangependa kujua zaidi juu yako wewe mwenyewe, then utuelezee machache kuhusu Mheshimiwa Jirongo.
Yeah, kwanza pole sana for having lost Mheshimiwa Cyrus Jirongo. We've worked with him. I've been in Parliament with him in the 8th Parliament. He found me there, and I have known him for a long time. After that, we have had relations with him, trying to build Luhya unity. I know him as a compassionate leader, a man who actually had the Luhya nation at heart. So first, my condolences to the family of Mheshimiwa Cyrus Jirongo, and of course to the Luhya nation as a whole, because we have lost a man that we should have had in a senior position of leadership. Cyrus has helped many people among the Luhya, including the political leaders that are there now. But he has always seen that there were serious shortcomings in those that were in leadership. And that is why several times he made attempts to take the leadership himself. I remember in 2006, he organized Luhya unity meetings, rallies across the province, starting with Munyasia, then Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia, and Lugari. His intention was that he would build consensus among the Luhya as to who would be the kingpin. Of course, when he started, it was like a small effort. But by the time he got to Busia, the whole nation had joined. Mudavadi had been there, Kombo was there, you know, all political leaders, all who was who among the politicians in Luhya were there. But then of course there was infighting, so everyone wanted to outshine the other. So it didn't succeed. He went ahead and formed Kadu, and he led that party for some time. It didn't succeed. But he has always felt that people should work for the nation. Unfortunately, I do not see among the leadership that are left one who has the heart of Cyrus Jirongo. And that is why we mourn him. I don't see anyone with the heart of Cyrus Jirongo, because whenever he had any opportunity, his people were foremost in his consideration. And that is why many times he didn't agree, for instance with Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, because he thought Musalia Mudavadi was not doing enough for the people. And that is why way back in 98, 99, when NDP was joining KANU to form new KANU, he had positioned himself to be recognized as the representative of the Luhya in new KANU. But then unfortunately, I think he was outpaced in the struggle, and Mheshimiwa Mudavadi was then appointed, I think by the president, as the representative of the Luhya nation. And that is how he ended up being the vice president. Otherwise, Cyrus had wanted to get that position because he thought if he had been in positions that these other Luhyas had had, he would have been able to do more for the people than they were doing then. So that is why we mourn Cyrus so much. We hope that others will emerge who can follow his example.
We have heard a lot about Mheshimiwa Jirongo. I don't know if you have anything to say about the popularity of this name Jirongo, and especially associated with the Moi elections, Moi campaigns.
I don't know. Well, this YK.
Yes, YK 92.
YK was formed sometime, I think, in about 1991. And then early February 92, it was formalized. That's when Cyrus was picked to be chairman of YK. Now, of course, the youth group was supposed to help the campaign of KANU so that Moi would be reinstated as president now for a new term under some kind of new constitution, multi-party.
Yes.
But of course, it didn't take long because I think many of the youths might have messed up Cyrus. Perhaps it wasn't his intention. But a lot of them were spenders rather than useful campaigners for the party. Because there was a lot of money floating around that they had to use. But most of it, I think, ended up in bars and so before long, I think Moi had become disgruntled with the performance of YK. So I think towards the end, before even we had the elections, I think he was determined to ban it. So early 93, it was no longer, in force.
So YK 92 was not a success story?
No, it wasn't a success story. But it's, I think, because of the youth that were used then. Because even some of us who were in opposition parties and were friends with those who were in YK managed to use that money also to campaign. I had friends here that I cannot mention who would get money from YK and just ask me, Mheshimiwa, utakuwa wapi? Tunaweza kukusaidia kidogo, because you people don't have money. Because I would say, if we met at such and such a place, either at dawn or dusk, then they would. So they were more spenders because it was money available. So and I think it was during his time that the biggest note was I think was
500.
Yeah, was manufactured from 200 to 500. So now instead of giving people 200, they thought 500 was better. So there was a lot of that. They called it Jirongo, but I'm not sure I know how it came to be Jirongo. I don't know whether it was in honor of all the chairman, in honor of the chairman of YK. Okay.
So you talked about Luhya unity.
Yes.
this Luhya unity narrative or conversation has been on for so long.
Yes.
In your view, why have we failed, in fact, even to have just one kingpin that is accepted by the entire region?
No, because I think there are people who have offered themselves, but you know, it depends on how they are going to use that position. Because someone may rise as a kingpin, and then he uses the position either to enrich himself or merely to boast over others. But there are those that might appear genuine. So the struggle must go on to find one who can be a true spokesman of the community. But he doesn't have to be elected. They just will have to move around, and we, as the people, will have to rate them. Each of us in his own assessment.
An informal kind of rating.
Yes, yes, and someone appears to be the one who will pull the crowds.
Okay.
Someone who appears who will be listened to, and who will be hungering for his opinion. What has so and so said about this?
Yes.
And when he comes out, but will not appear to be far off, it may be coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of our Luhya unity, or rather our kingpin as a Luhya community, what you have just said, to me, in my judgment, I'm seeing two people in mind. I'm seeing Moses Wetangula, actually three. I'm seeing Moses Wetangula, I'm seeing Mudavadi, and I'm also seeing Natembeya. What would you tell them in terms of driving the agenda of the Luhya nation?
No, I do not know. You know, as I have told you, someone will emerge. It doesn't have to be by interview. Like one time I understand at World he thought he would engage some university professors to work out what and find out who appears to be. No, it doesn't have to be that. Someone will emerge. But I think the one who will emerge will be the one who appears concerned about the condition in which we have been all along. Because you know, last time when people were talking about shares, you know, I have nothing actually about shares. Because when you are agreeing to work together, you cannot rule out the question of shares. What is here for me? So there is a question of what is there for the Luhya. And if what is there does not appear satisfactory, because again it is the people who will show us whether they are now satisfied with what we are doing for them or not. So when they are not satisfied, I think we better listen. So who is listening to us? I think that is the question. Who is listening to us? Who knows our condition? Because if we begin saying, like at one time, you know, a president would come here, and then we ourselves would like to please the president, to show the president that, you know, we had nothing against him, and that, you know, that our people were supporting him. So you tell the president to look around and see how the people are happy with him. No, instead of raising issues that will satisfy them, people are not happy. People are not happy, and it must be said. If they think they do not have a fair share, it must be said. Don't leave it to the the commission for, you know, coherence and what. You know, these ones who carry out investigations, they find that the way it has been since independence, actually we have had an unfair share. You know, too little a share of the national cake. Someone must come up and say no, even if it's going by affirmative action. The Luhya share must be raised. That is the person who the people will follow.
I think you're talking about Natembeya.
That's your conclusion.
So finally, Mheshimiwa, maybe you can tell those who are watching and they want to be part of the funeral program of Mheshimiwa Cyrus Jirongo. Have you set a place where you're meeting and the times, or how does one join these arrangements?
No, I'm not sure. You know, it just shocked us only yesterday. So I do not know yet what plans, you know, are being organized. But
friends from Bungoma probably. If Mheshimiwa Lawrence Ifuna would have been around, maybe he would be sitting next to you right now as you plan.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Because we did together.
Yes.
We did work with Cyrus many times, several times. So I do not know. We still have to reach out to the family.
At times wakati mlikuwa mko opposition na yeye akupandia serikali, kuna wakati bado mlikuwa mnatumia kusukuma agenda yenu huko.
Ndio. And there was a time that we felt Cyrus was being discarded by Moi,
yes.
Or maybe by the forces close to Moi. We had to organize as a Luya group with Martin Shikuku, with Katibi. There was a gentleman, Katibi from Butere. With at that time the PC, Victor Musoka from Jirongo. At that time he was PC Nyeri. Lawrence Ifuna, we were with Saul Busolo, we were with Fred Gumo. And we said, Apana, this man is our man. Cyrus cannot be used to help Moi for re-election in 1992, and now they are throwing him about because his businesses were, you know, being frozen in. So we had to shout and speak for him. So a number of times when we saw that Eluya was being threatened, we felt it was time to get together. And so let's get together.
Yes.
Whenever we have a loss like this one of Cyrus, let's get together and let them see that we are concerned about the fate of our own. Yes.
So maybe I'll just get your contact. I'll just check whether I have your contact here. No, I don't have, but I'll get your contact so that those who would like to be part of organization to, or rather this planning of Mheshimiwa Jirongo's burial, maybe you can reach out later. Yes. I would have gotten a clear picture from Mheshimiwa if there are any gatherings hapa na pale, so that muweze kuwa part of it. So simamisha kamera vizuri wewe. Kamera imelala hivi. So that we can be part of the planning. So nitawapatia hiyo details later on. Kwa saa hii Mheshimiwa, asante sana for the impromptu and brief interview.
Asante.
Pole sana kwa kupoteza rafiki yako. Na tunaomba ya kwamba ufarijike. I'll be getting in touch several times so that tuone what to update the public. So this marks the end of this live stream, guys. We've been live on Facebook and YouTube concurrently as usual, and see you in the Ikue updates. Kuka bora holi kama mbaya
kama mbaya. Okay, asante
Kuka. Asante. So just end this. This one, I've been live.